The Atlanta Falcons are going to go with Kyle Pitts, tight end out of Florida, number 4 overall in the 2021 NFL Draft.
One of the best prospects in this year's class. My number 3 guy behind guys you've heard of, Trevor Lawrence and also Penei Sewell. Pitts fits, I think, what the Falcons are trying to do right now, which is win with Matt Ryan. You hired Arthur Smith. I think the front office wants to win games rather sooner than later, which, again, I'm on board with that one as well. I like Kyle Pitts a lot. In terms of a game-breaking offensive playmaker, a matchup nightmare, that is what Kyle Pitts is. He does not turn 21 until October. I do not think we have seen the best of Kyle Pitts at this point. Fantastic athlete. He averaged almost 5 yards per route run against man coverage. You talk about a linebacker or a safety, it's not going to hold off there. He ran a blaze route against Kentucky with some good coverage on it. It wasn't even fair. He's not just your typical tight end. He offers a whole lot more as a outside playmaker. My comparison for him, Darren Waller.
Oh, I see
and
it.
if your offensive coordinator, if you're Arthur Smith and you line this guy in line only, you should be fired. Line him up in the same way Travis Kelce is used. Outside as a pure receiver. Off the line as a slot guy. In line and get him lined up against some linebackers as well. He's only an okay blocker. He's not bad by any means. But the athletic ability, the playmaking he brings is fantastic.
All right, so grade the pick A, B, C, D, or F. Kyle Pitts to the Atlanta Falcons at 4.
A.
This is an A. This is a very, very easy A, and most of the chats coming in right now are, in fact, an A. Isaac Blue says B+. This is an A, A+. Music Remix, Adrian Beal, Matt the Gamer, and then we got another one from Zoe Owie and Tired. Continue to type those A's in there because it has been 100% an A grade.
Fun fact, his high school coaches wanted him to play quarterback and linebacker. He asked to go play tight end. Good job, Kyle Pitts there. Some negative things here. He's not as productive in contested catches as you would expect, only 57%, which is still above average, but it's not like an ideal catch necessarily. I think if you get a very physical player on him, you might be able to take him out of the game a little bit there. It's a top 5 player, though. He's my number 3 overall guy. He goes number 4 overall with Matt Ryan, in theory. Still Julio Jones as well. Calvin Ridley, whatever they do in the backfield. You've got a 4'4", 40 guy who's 245 pounds.
It's wild.
You don't find these guys. The coaching staff of Florida called him a unicorn. I have dropped the word generational from my vocabulary as it relates to the NFL. But in terms of being an elite prospect, that is Kyle Pitts.
Okay.
So if you weren't going to go quarterback, this made plenty of sense for the Atlanta Falcons. So I like that move. They're trying to win right now. His hands have gotten better. He's only 20 years old. I don't think we've seen the best yet out of Kyle Pitts. And I think Arthur Smith in particular is going to be able to maximize him in that style of offense in what should be heavy play action. I think you'll see Kyle Pitts have plenty of success. If you're in fantasy stuff, go get him if you're in the market for a tight end in your dynasty leagues.
Also, shout out to Valiant Courtlander for the $30 super chat. All right, y'all, if you're watching on our Falcons channel, we're going to kick it over to Thomas Mott for a little bit more in-depth analysis.
Hey, Falcon fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Atlanta Falcons today. Man, we're about to break down Kyle Pitts at number 4 overall. Before we go ahead and do that, make sure you guys are subscribed to our brand new Falcons channel here at Chat Sports by just going down below and hitting that red subscribe button as we're going to be breaking down all of the picks. We're going to do a full draft recap coming up, of course, after all the rounds of the NFL draft. So make sure you guys are subscribed by going down below and hitting the red subscribe button today. All right, Falcon fans, the wait is over. The Falcons officially have their number 1 overall pick, or their first-round draft pick, number 4 overall, and it is the tight end from Florida, Kyle Pitts. Arguably, according to some, the best player in the entire NFL draft. He is going to be paired up with not only Matt Ryan, but Julio Jones for now, Calvin Ridley, and of course the rest of the Atlanta Falcons going into what is going to be an absolutely fascinating offense to watch. Now, the interesting thing here was, of course, what Atlanta was going to do. I mean, there's a lot of debate on Falcons local radio, in terms of national media, what Atlanta would do at number 4. You saw Trey Lance go off the board at number 3 by the San Francisco 49ers. There were a lot of reports talking about how much the Falcons liked Trey Lance. They They pass on Mac Jones. I think that's a good choice there. They pass on Justin Fields. His NFL Draft on ESPN kept flashing over to Fields in Kennesaw, Georgia, and he wouldn't answer his phone, or I guess no one called his cell phone. And so they pass on him. They don't go quarterback, and they go tight end at number 4 overall. Now, my grade on this is interesting because I've been kind of iffy on Kyle Pitts for a while. I would have liked to have traded back. Now, that's what, I mean, for forever I had said I wanted to go back, but as the rest of the first round fell out, it's very clear they probably didn't get a good enough offer. Denver didn't even take a quarterback. Like, if Denver would have actually been trying to trade up to 4 and they hadn't offered enough, then they would have been taking, obviously, Justin Fields at number 9, and they did. They took Patrick Surtain, the cornerback. So, very clearly, there was not a big enough offer for the Falcons to go ahead and move back, and it was too early to go ahead and take any of the defensive players because none of the defensive players are worthy, in my opinion, of the number 4 overall pick, except maybe a guy like Patrick Surtain. So, they forced their hand. If they're not going to go quarterback, then I guess Kyle Pitts is the best pick here for the Atlanta Falcons. So I still say C-. I wanted to go back, but at the same time, I totally understand why Atlanta did this. And honestly, he's going to be pretty darn fun to watch. If anything, he's going to be an absolute blast to go ahead and watch in the ATL. Give me your grade, though, on this pick. I say C-. Maybe I'm being a little bit harsh. Give me your grade on the Falcons taking Kyle Pitts. A, B, C, D, or F down below in the comment section. Okay, before we go ahead and break down the rest of Kyle Pitts being drafted quickly, just to remind you, depending on when you're watching this, the Falcons still have some picks that are remaining as they have plenty of picks to get other needs, right? I mean, the cornerback is obviously still a need for the Atlanta Falcons. Pass rush remains an absolutely massive need, depending on when you watch this video. Maybe they have filled those needs, but of course we're filming this draft night just minutes after they went ahead and took Kyle Pitts, so know that they do have picks remaining, obviously, to go ahead and make some moves later on here in, round 2, and of course way beyond and further on there. Now, the main question that all Falcon fans are going to be asking right now is, how are you going to guard Atlanta? Let's say they keep Julio Jones. How are you going to stop Matt Ryan, who very clearly can still be an MVP caliber quarterback, at least a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback? How are you going to go ahead and stop Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones, Hayden Hurst, and now you throw in Kyle Pitts, who's already a matchup nightmare at an NFL level? It's going to be very, very hard to go ahead and stop the Atlanta Falcons offense. I mean, every single week that you play Atlanta, if you're a defensive coordinator, you really got to scheme well, knowing that you have a monumental task. My question, of course, and why I'm a little bit hesitant on this draft pick is, okay, let's say Atlanta scores 38 a game. Who's stopping the other team from scoring 38 a game as well? The defenses still have massive, massive holes, which is why I wanted to go ahead and trade back. But as I said, obviously they had no real chance to go ahead and move back because it seems like the calls really weren't going ahead and ringing in. So Pitts comes in. He's going to make this offense instantly better than what it already was. And the big winner tonight, of course, is Matt Ryan. I mean, Matt Ryan, obviously, even to take a quarterback in round 2, 3, or 4, is very clearly the starting quarterback of the Falcons for the foreseeable future. This was a pick for him. This was Arthur Smith coming on, to the national media and saying, hey, this is our guy, and we're going to go ahead and continue to throw the football, which is what Matt Ryan, of course, does really, really well. Now, if you're getting Pitts with number 4 overall, the draft needs do still remain very important, right? You need a cornerback, you need a defensive end. Running back on day 2, to me, is absolutely pivotal. I think Atlanta really needs to go ahead and get a running back on day 2, and they do need to get a quarterback. For all intents and purposes, they still got to get at least a backup because they don't have a backup on the roster right now, as they went ahead and let go of every other quarterback that was on their roster this offseason. And so you got to go ahead and get a quarterback who is at least going to back them up. So look for them to go ahead and get a quarterback later on in this draft. Maybe not round 2 or 3, 4, 5. Who knows? It could be any of the quarterbacks that are left available at the time of filming this video. And so we'll wait and see what they do. What was your one-word reaction to the Falcons drafting Kyle Pitts? Like, one-word reaction. Mine, honestly, I'm trying to think of a one-word reaction. I would say pretty vanilla, because I think Kyle Pitts was the pick all along, and we were hoping for a trade back or maybe a quarterback for a little bit more excitement. Not saying that Pitts is not exciting, but I'd say a little vanilla for me is my one-word reaction to the Pitts draft pick. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments section. Again, I'm not saying Pitts is a bad pick. They probably did have Hayden Hurst. 2 tight end set. They did a lot with Arthur Smith in Tennessee, and so that's kind of exciting. And, maybe Kyle Pitts is the matchup nightmare that everyone keeps saying that he is, and that's the hope right now in Atlanta. But my main focus now going forward is the Falcons still have big needs. Right, a trade back, theoretically, if it was offered, which apparently it was not, and I'm sure we'll find out more details in the coming days and weeks, but you could have gotten a cornerback, you could have gotten an extra first-round draft pick next year, could have gotten an extra second-round draft pick, and started to plug the many holes the Atlanta Falcons have right now. They didn't really have a hole at tight end. Now, they really don't have a hole at tight end because they both have Hayden Hurst and Kyle Pitts, but it's going to be very, very interesting to see what Atlanta is going to do going forward, not just with the draft, with undrafted free agents, maybe even some more free agent signings, in order to make sure the defense is going to be up to par with what we expect the offense to be, and that is going to be extremely, extremely good. Plenty of options in round 2. Again, when you're watching this, maybe it is round 2, and so hopefully the Atlanta Falcons have already drafted somebody that we really like in Atlanta, but Kyle Pitts going off the board at number 4 overall, it felt like it was growing, especially with the very little buzz we heard in Atlanta in terms of Justin Fields, and culminated with Atlanta waiting a while to do the pick. They took the entire 10 minutes and ending up with the Florida tight end Kyle Pitts. Now, let me ask you guys this. Who do you want in round 2? Right? Do you have a pick in round 2? Or let's just go later on in the NFL draft. Is there a player later on that's still available right now in the NFL draft you really want the Atlanta Falcons to go ahead and grab? Let me know who that is down below in the comments section. Again, time of filming this, I really want a corner. And you got to get a pass rusher and a running back. Those are the 3 big needs right now for our Atlanta Falcons. And if they can get all 3 of those filled, and Kyle Pitts turns out to be an absolutely fantastic player, Atlanta has a home run in the makings in terms of the first draft with Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith. Pitts, again, a fan favorite. A lot of fans in Atlanta are going to be very, very excited about this. It's a Matt Ryan-friendly pick, and that's important to note, right? Ryan is the quarterback. There were thoughts that you could draft Justin Fields and then eventually kind of supplant Matt Ryan even as early as middle of 2021 NFL season. Not the case anymore. It will go ahead and be Matt Ryan, and that should be very exciting news for a lot of Falcons fans. Okay, before we go ahead and sign off, make sure you guys go ahead and follow our main Chat Sports channel, youtube.com/ChatSportsTV, or just look up Chat Sports in the link, just in the search box above me, because we have full 7-round coverage starting with round 2 tomorrow night, depending on when you did this video, and then in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, every single pick in the NFL draft we will cover here on our main Chat Sports channel, so every single Falcon pick will be covered here on the main Chat Sports channel, so make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe over there. Ultimate App for today here on Atlanta Falcons today. Wanted to get you guys my first initial reaction to the Kyle Pitts, draft pick. It's exciting. I'm pumped for Matt Ryan. I'm curious what they do going forward because they have a lot of needs overall, but they stay put and take the Florida tight end, and there is much rejoicing right now in the ATL. Again, Ultimate App for today here on Atlanta Falcons today. I am Thomas Mott signing off for the rest of your day.